Welcome to News Night, your #1 source for Albany news, news around the city of Albany, and news around the globe. I'm JD Buno.
I'm Masha Sadovnikov, and I'm Sherry Monet.
First in the news we're going to talk about, it was a couple of days ago, but it's still the story that is circulating. It's the Super Bowl. It's the biggest sporting event of the year, and as of now, a lot of talk, especially in the New York metropolitan area, in terms of reporters and sports journalists, are about Roger Goodell's words of saying that this year's Super Bowl was better than the last. A lot of New York writers and even Boston writers are saying that last year's Super Bowl was still superior, saying it was a better game, it was a bigger upset. Seeing the Giants defeat the 16-0 undefeated New England Patriots is probably the greatest Super Bowl of all time. While not last night, but Sunday night's Super Bowl was absolutely excellent as the Steelers were able to beat the Arizona Cardinals 27-23 behind a big play by Ben Roethlisberger in the final few minutes. A lot of people are upset that Roger Goodell said that at the trophy ceremony. So there's still a lot of, it's all fun now because, you know, the Super Bowl's over with. I think a lot of people are upset that the football season's over and it's not going to start again for quite the few months. But the Steelers were able to prevail. Santonio Holmes was your MVP. But in my personal opinion, I think last year's Super Bowl was the best. Did you see the Super Bowl on Sunday?
Yes, I did.
What did you think?
I mean, I should have bet on the game.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could have won it.
Yeah.
I was going for the Steelers, but I really should have bet on the game. I could have won $500.
Yeah, but in terms of, advertisements, there was something a little crazy going on in terms of ads, right?
Yeah, the stuff with the horse, that was really cool.
Yeah.
They did a whole ad movie. That was pretty awesome.
Well, wasn't there something with I think there was a flash of a porn clip or something?
Yeah, actually, speaking of the Super Bowl, Tufts in Arizona had a really funny incident where someone aired a 10-second porn clip during the Super Bowl, and they had a lot of angry callers, mostly little parents concerned with little children, and a very angry 80-year-old mother called the Tufts KBOA TV station and really complained.
That's awful. Porno during the Super Bowl. I mean, I didn't see it. Did you?
No.
No, but that's still crazy.
They could only air it.
I miss the old Super Bowl commercials. They were the best.
Yeah, I wasn't that impressed by this year's Super Bowl.
Well, on a more serious tip, in Burlington, police received a report of a man crying for help in the downtown area. When police arrived in the area, they heard a man crying, and they followed the sound. They followed the sound to the building. When police arrived, they found a man stuck in a chimney. He was conscious and told police he had been drinking for several hours. The man told police he had also been stuck for about 7 hours. 3 teams of firefighters responded to the scene and secured a rope to the man's out-of-reach arms, according to Burlington fire officials. Firefighters tried to pull him out of the chimney but were unsuccessful. Firefighters eventually had to disassemble the chimney and were able to free the man about 6:45 in the evening. Witnesses said the man was covered in soot when he finally was pulled free. He was transported to Fletcher Allen Health Center for evaluation and treatment for his injuries. He said he was drinking with his brother and didn't know how he got in the chimney.
that's a funny story. I mean, that makes me think of, you ever see with Adam Sandler, Kevin James, and I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry?
Yes.
And there's the scene where they get into the fight on the roof because some burglar tried to go down through the chimney to rob the building that they were on top of. And I can just see someone being stuck in a chimney after drinking. I mean, that's quite the story.
And he doesn't know how he got there. I would love to know how he got in the chimney.
Yeah, I guess that's the mystery at this point.
And to be stuck in the chimney for several hours, I mean, that's...
Sure, he was really dirty when he got out, right?
Yeah.
Like really, really dirty.
When it's to say he was covered in soot.
That's funny. Well, I can assure you that Barack Obama isn't covered in soot, nor does he spend any time in chimneys. In fact, right now he's in the White House. President Barack Obama's nominee to be the first chief performance officer for the federal government has withdrawn after earlier failing to pay tax on household help. According to Tom Dieter, a White House spokesman, Nancy Killefer has decided to withdraw her nomination, and we accepted her withdrawal. That's as straightforward as it's going to get. The White House later released her letter to the president, which in part stated, "I recognize that your agenda and the duties facing your chief performance officer are urgent. I have also come to realize in the current environment that my personal tax issue of DC unemployment tax could be used to create exactly the kind of distraction and delay those duties must avoid. Because of this, I must reluctantly ask you to withdraw my name from consideration." So Killier, a 55-year-old executive with consulting giant McKinsey & Co., was the second major Obama administration nominee to withdraw and the third to have tax problems complicate their nomination after President Barack Obama announced their selection. So I don't know if Barack Obama is paying enough attention to these selections in terms of who he's nominating, but I'm sure that now that the inauguration's over and he's focusing more on his presidential duties, that he's going to pay more attention to the people that he nominates. I'm sure his team will be doing the same likewise. So Barack Obama certainly has got his hands full.
And speaking of politicians, another funny story. Yesterday was Groundhog Day, and New York City's mayor, Bloomberg, got bitten by the groundhog in the Staten Island Zoo. And what makes it even funnier that last week, Mayor Bloomberg actually cut the Staten Island Zoo's budget, and I guess Charles Hogg, their main groundhog, decided to do karma and took a bite out of him. It bit off his finger, and but Mayor Bloomberg wasn't too angry, even though the groundhog was 10 pounds. It must have been pretty scary. But the groundhog did predict an early spring as he, after snatching his finger, he went back to his cave.
I hate to make another movie reference, but if you ever see movies like Madagascar with the animals, and they are always plotting together, and they're always talking in secret, it's almost as if, the groundhog got together and we're saying, "Oh, you're going to cut our budget? Well, we're going to bite you." So I hope you ever been bit by an animal?
I get bit by my cat all the time, and I want to choke him sometimes. But I'm sure he had to be pretty upset. I mean, I'm sure he brushed it off, but I'm sure he was pretty upset.
Yeah, I bet you being bit by a groundhog hurts too.
I got bit by a rottweiler once as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I just have a fear of dogs now.
Oh man, that's awful.
Well, in another look at politics, GOP leaders deem a lot of things wasteful in the president's stimulus package. On Monday, House Republican leaders put on a list of what they call wasteful provisions in the Senate vision in the nearly $9 billion stimulus bill. And I think a lot of these things are ridiculous too, like a $246 million tax break for Hollywood movie producers to buy motion picture films, $650 million for the digital television converter box coupons, $248 million for furniture of the new Homeland Security headquarters. Some of this stuff is ridiculous. $75 million for smoker cessation activities. What is that? What is that?
It's almost. I'm looking at the list right now, right here, and it goes on and on and on. 80 million here, 100 million here, 2 billion here, and it's just the list just looks ridiculous. Especially the one with the coupons for digital box converters. Out in 2009, actually a year now. I keep thinking it's 2008. But TV converting to digital signals. And them giving out coupons. It just it seems like this list is a little ridiculous.
It goes on and on and on. I think a lot of this stuff is ridiculous. $850 million for Amtrak. How long has Amtrak been in the hole?
No, it's definitely. I didn't even see the second page, but reading a couple of those, it just definitely seems ridiculous. Yeah, $850 million for Amtrak. $850 million.
If they stop giving free rides to their employees.
Yeah.
Maybe they can save some bucks.
Yeah, well, I know Albany's been trying to save some bucks, but let's talk about the University of Albany for a minute. University interim president Frank Pogue, who initiated Albany's first Martin Luther King Jr. luncheon, will be the guest speaker for the event's 30th anniversary at noon on February 5th. Be sure to check it out. That should be an awesome event in the Campus Center ballroom. So Frank Pogue, definitely influential in terms of Martin Luther King's impact. He served as Albany's Vice President for Student Affairs from 1983 to 1986, becoming the first African American to hold a vice presidential office at our university. He was also formerly an associate professor and chair of African/Afro-American studies at UAlbany, and worked in the SUNY system for 23 years, including as Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Special Programs for SUNY Central Administration. Interim President George Philp was quoted as saying, "Dr. Pogue is a leader of vision and principle who has made a difference at UAlbany and beyond. It is an honor to welcome him back to campus to help us celebrate Black History Month." So that should be, quite an amazing event. Hearing his speech should be incredible, especially being on the 30th anniversary of Martin Luther King's lecture. So
I mean, it sounds like a good idea, so if you guys can make it, make sure you be there. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, once again, it's going to be on the 30th anniversary at noon, which is February 5th, in the Campus Center Ballroom. So if you're not doing anything, be sure to check it out, because I'm sure he will deliver quite a powerful speech.
And speaking of Black history, Queens prosecutor Eric Holder became the first African-American Attorney General yesterday. He was confirmed as of late Monday, and the final vote was 75-21, with half of the Senate scopers voting against him. He will be sworn in actually Tuesday morning at the Justice Department by Vice President Biden. The Queens spread prosecutor served as Deputy Attorney General in the Clinton administration and was an opponent of the torture in now ex-President Bush's war on terror.
I think Holder, he has a lot to, take over. I mean, with the Bush administration scandals, he has a lot to restore their reputation.
Yeah, he has his hands full, especially, like you said, a great point after the Bush administration. And so Eric Holder certainly has his hand full. But African Americans now have come such an incredibly long way. It's incredible. It's revolutionary, and it really makes you feel proud to be part of the United States of America, because look, we have our first African American president now, Eric Holder, Attorney General, and even just talking about interim President David Pogue. I don't even know what to say. It's just great.
Yes, it is. Martin Luther King would be very proud of the way the society, the world is going right now.
Yeah, I don't think I can say any better. Martin Luther King would be proud.
I think he's finally resting in peace.
Right. So good for him. Kudos to Martin Luther King Jr. and 30th anniversary of his speech coming up.
This country has come a very long way.
Yes, it has. So Windows 7 is in its beta phase right now. For those of you who are PC users, and I know a lot of you are out there, Windows Vista was kind of a mess. It definitely had its issues, its bug issues, its problems, but one of the biggest problems that Microsoft President Steve Ballmer has been hinting at in the past couple of months is that they've had trouble finding development partners, third-party developers who can help, advance the software and give it more capabilities, and basically take it to the next level. Windows XP Service Pack 2 definitely got that help, but Windows Vista didn't receive the same third-party help. So a lot of people are hoping that Windows 7, the new operating coming out very soon for PC users and for Microsoft, they're hoping that it will do much better. It's currently in the beta phase. As of yesterday, Windows actually put out a new Windows 7 homepage. That's why it's actually currently in news, but there's a lot of hype building up about, the possible resurrection of the personal computer, because as of now, Apple is just revolutionizing the computer market. So Windows 7 in the beta phase as of now. They are expected to release Windows 7, the final version. They said after appropriate beta testing. They're not going to give a solidified date, but they said that once they feel like it's ready for consumers, they're going to release it. So you have a Mac or a PC, the commercials, Mac, PC. What do you have?
Right now, I have an Acer. So I'm working on getting my MacBook, but I don't know.
Yeah, I want a MacBook. What do you have?
I've always had a PC.
Yeah. Do you like Macs or?
No.
Okay, no. You see the commercials. I'm a PC, but I know I want a Mac. I think Apples are just awesome. Well, we're gonna have to wrap it up. Before I do, the premiere of ATV Sports Report is actually going to be tonight. You can see it on UAlbany TV channel 16 and 19 at 7:30 and 10:30. And if you miss it, it'll also be on tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and also on Monday. So ATV Sports Report, it's the show that basically focuses on the news and analysis of Albany athletics. It's hosted by myself, JB Buno. Also starring in it will be Joe Rapolo, Adam Manson, and Ashley Latimer. Be sure to check it out. We have many highlights from men's basketball games, including their victories over UNBC and Hartford. But Big Purple Growl is coming up. You guys plan on going?
Yeah,
that's
definitely. It's gonna be very exciting.
Pack in the house. Every seat in the house should be full. So Big Purple Growl is coming up on Saturday. Women's basketball playing Binghamton at 4:30. 7 o'clock, men's basketball taking on the American East League in Vermont. Check it out. Big Purple Growl is not an event to miss. Certainly it lasts. Well, we have to wrap it up for today. I'm JB Buno.
I'm Masha Sidoni.
And I'm Sheree Monet.
Thank you for tuning in and have a great night.